This has New York Knicks fans absolutely split as we have another huge update in regards to the next head coach of the New York Knicks. With free agency officially underway and the New York Knicks attempting to sign players despite not announcing who the team's next head coach is going to be, there have been multiple names that have been linked to this search, and Leon Rose and the Knicks have started to look in a few of the same directions to where now it feels pretty clear on what is going down, and we're going to break all this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys are part of that 69% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe. We got daily videos like this. You do not want to miss out on all the great content. Also, we do have channel members now. If you are interested in joining, there's a bunch of cool perks for you guys. We're still adding more perks as well to those channel memberships, so be sure to check that out in case you're interested. Outside of that, let's jump into it because there's a lot of head coaching names to go over. Now, as we know, Jason Kidd has been linked to the New York Knicks time and time again this offseason. Kidd wowed the Knicks back in 2020 with his interview and was widely regarded as the guy who came in second place for the job that ended up going to Tom Thibodeau. But now, with Tom Thibodeau being fired, Kidd was the Knicks' number one option. They really did want to bring him in from the Dallas Mavericks, and there's still a chance that they do. However, it feels like things are becoming a bit clearer now, and the Knicks have turned their sights towards the other guys who they have interviewed for that job as well. Now, in a new update in regards to this search, Frank Isola mentioned that Jason Kidd was the number one target, and until the Knicks name a coach, you can't entirely rule him out, but Mike Brown is emerging as the front runner for the job. Now, it was also recently announced by multiple different outlets, including Shams Charania, that Mike Brown will be getting a second interview with the Knicks. He is the first coach to be getting a second interview with the Knicks and is widely perceived as the favorite of this team. And this is going to have Knicks fans split on the situation here. Now, Mike Brown, in his own way, is a very talented coach. He brought the Sacramento Kings back. He coached them, and they outplayed their talent level. They obviously had talent on the roster with De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Domantas Sabonis. I'm not saying they didn't. However, it wasn't a team that should have been a fourth seed in the West just based off how good the West was, but they were able to become one, and they were this exciting team with the light the beam stuff, and Mike Brown won Coach of the Year, and since then, he kind of regressed a little bit. Look, I'm going to be honest, I don't like Mike Brown for this role. I don't think he should be the coach. I've said this before, I would way rather it be Taylor Jenkins. I think Jenkins should be the next head coach of the Knicks. If it's not Jenkins, it should be James Borrego. I think that Jason Kidd is not the right fit for the New York Knicks, though I do think he's a good coach, and we will have more on Jason Kidd in just a second. But with Mike Brown, I don't like him for this job at all right now. I don't think Mike Brown makes any sense. Look, I think he's a great associate head coach, but I'm not sure if he could be a head coach in the NBA. It's clear that he misses some things and that he's got blind spots that have led to early playoff exits in the past, stuff that he's not going to get around. And frankly, there's a reason why the man's been fired 3 times, 4 times. So I don't want to see him coach the Knicks. It feels like going from Tom Thibodeau to Mike Brown is a lateral move at best, and that's at the very best. It's very likely a backwards move. Look, as a lot of you know, I was in the camp of fire Tom Thibodeau. I thought he made enough mistakes that he just should no longer be the coach, especially in regards to the fact that this is a team that should be offensively minded, and that's one of the reasons why I believe the Knicks are leaning Mike Brown. They're a team headlined by a guard, and they're offensively minded. That's the type of style that Mike Brown would coach. However, at the end of the day, despite the fact that the offensive coaching is good, as I mentioned, there are blind spots that Mike Brown has, and I don't really necessarily want to see Mike Brown become the next head coach of the Knicks. It feels like he's going to. I really don't want him to. I just don't see how you could really go with Mike Brown over Taylor Jenkins. Jenkins is younger. Him getting fired was under very questionable circumstances at best. There was a lot to not like about the Taylor Jenkins firing, when with Mike Brown, it felt like it made a bit more sense. He had been there for a few years, and though I didn't agree with Brown being fired from the Sacramento Kings, he did throw De'Aaron Fox under the bus that one time, and on top of the fact that you just look at the fact the Kings didn't go anywhere after that one good year, it kind of makes you think, all right, well, is Mike Brown a good one-year head coach who then starts to regress? That's the way it feels like often when he takes over for jobs. And Taylor Jenkins wasn't that. He's great at in-game adjustments. He's a great developmental coach. He plays a deep bench. It's all the things that the Knicks seemingly want. I think it should totally be Taylor Jenkins as the next head coach of the Knicks. If it's not, again, I think it should be Borrego. I think it should be Jenkins or Borrego. Those are the two guys I would look at along with Johnny Bryant. However, that's not who the Knicks are looking at. And I'm going to be honest, man. I'm going to be really disappointed if Mike Brown is the next head coach of the Knicks. However, we do have other stuff to look at as well, partially regarding Jason Kidd. So when you look at Mike Brown's coaching career, we've seen there's been the ups and downs of it all. He coached the Lakers for a year and a half, coached the Cavs for a while, coached the Cavs again for a single year, became an assistant coach with the Warriors where they won a multitude of rings, and that was very nice for him. And then he moved on to the Sacramento Kings, getting his first head coaching job in 9 years. And he coached them well. They went 48-34, and then things got worse slightly, and then they kept getting worse, and it just wasn't worth it. He does not have a championship as a head coach. He does have a few as an assistant coach, but it makes me think that he just is better off as an assistant coach at this part of the game. And I would love if the Knicks brought in Mike Brown as their associate head coach, but I don't want him to be their head coach. I don't want to see it be Mike Brown. I would really rather it not be. Now, we look at Jason Kidd, and as Scoopy said a couple days ago, being the Knicks head coach is a dream job for Jason Kidd that he wants, but he's got to figure out a way to get to New York. It's feeling less and less likely after seeing Jason Kidd at the Dallas Mavericks introduction for Cooper Flagg. I mean, obviously Kidd's there. He's the head coach of the team. But I am saying on the fact of, as Kidd said, he wants to play Cooper Flagg at point guard, saying, I'm excited about giving him the ball. He's not going to have a specific role. I want to throw him right into the fire and stuff. It feels like Jason Kidd's already planning this out, like he's having fun and like he's excited for this new era. I mean, he literally said, I'm excited. And I know you can't take everything that someone says in a press conference with the most sincerity, but still, it feels like at this point, Jason Kidd's going to stick around. That's fine. I don't think Jason Kidd was the right fit for the Knicks anyway. I think he's a much better fit in Dallas as a head coach based off the two team styles. But on top of Mark Cuban saying that I'd send a text to J Kidd, he's the point guard, it's point guard, point guard, point guard, let him bring the ball up. And he talked about a lineup of Cooper Flagg, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, and then one of Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford, and saying the Mavs are going to have the biggest team in the NBA. Feels like Jason Kidd's an integral part of those plans, and because of that, what we're going to see is the New York Knicks just continue to move forwards with it not being Kidd, which does more come down to Mike Brown. So right now it does feel like Mike Brown is going to be the next head coach of the New York Knicks, and since it is the offseason, I don't think this part you guys are really going to care about, but whenever I record videos, I'm sitting at my desk. I have my phone in front of me. It's right now charging because my phone sucks and it's from 2021. I have to charge it at a weird angle or it doesn't work. Probably shouldn't have stuck that paper clip in there that one time. That didn't help the charging port at all. But I do get updates on my phone about this. And basically, I just have to always check and see if I'm going to announce something in the middle of a video and hope it has something to do with it. Like if the Knicks hired Mike Brown right now, that'd be pretty excellent timing. But it wasn't. It was nothing. It was just Mikal Bridges reposting something about Precious Achiuwa, which is cool. But Precious is leaving, as we all know. Precious is going to be gone. Knicks are going to have a new head coach. I'm curious about who it's going to be. I don't want it to be Mike Brown. I want it to be Taylor Jenkins. And I really hope it is. Guys, who do you think the Knicks' next head coach is going to be? Would you be upset with Mike Brown? Do you think that's a lateral move or a backwards move from Tom Thibodeau? Because, again, I thought Tibbs should have been fired. I also don't think Mike Brown's an improvement. I think it's a slight step backwards, if anything. So, hopefully, in my mind, I hope they go in a different direction. Preferably Taylor Jenkins. But we're going to see what happens. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks. I'll catch you guys a whole lot now that free agency's begun.